Hello friends and welcome to another East German military stuff video. This time I have for you 3 different East German canteens. Basically have the good, the bad and the ugly, well, kinda lined up here. You can see when you go through these that the quality of production just kept going down as the DDR went along. But yeah, we have the early felt cover aluminum canteen, the Fl-andon pattern plastic canteen, and then the later Strichtan pattern canteen with a plastic bottle again. And yeah, let's start with the earliest one. So the aluminum canteen with felt cover, and yeah, this is very close to or very similar to what was used during the Second World War. It has like changed a bit in design and materials, but the overall look is quite similar. And the way that you were supposed to carry this is you have this hook up top and then this sort of letter loop here that you can open from the bottom. And the idea was that you would have the canteen attached to your bread bag. So the hook would attach to the loop at the top, and then you would put this leather strap from this leather loop on the cover of the bread bag, and that's how you would carry your canteen. Though I'm not sure what was the idea in the DDR, because the DDR or NVA, East German military, did not issue bread bags, at least not very widespreadly. And maybe they were issuing them in like the mid 1950s, but yeah, they stopped issuing the bread bags by late 1950s, I think. These were issued in the East German military at least until the early 1960s, before then this plastic Fl-andon bottle came into use. So yeah, let's take a look inside. So we have this very nice leather strap here. Overall, this canteen is, it's outdated design, but the materials and craftsmanship are very nice. So we have this quite small cup here, very round one. And actually at the top we do have a marking, if I can, there we go. So it's a bit faint, but it's DDR1, and this DDR stamp is common in the early items that were produced in DDR. I think this DDR1 stamp went out of use in late 1950s, I think maybe like 58, 59, and they switched to using NVA or MDI or even NMFS stamps. So yeah, that's when DDR stamps went away. If you have an item with DDR stamp, then you know it's an early item. And yeah, before I forget, like a bit of a PSA, like if you have any of these DDR canteens, even the UTV one, like the very late one, don't, for the sake of goodness, try to drink from them. Like they all have who knows what contaminants. Like this aluminum bottle has like bits of loose aluminum inside, and these plastics, they were not made to last for many decades, so there's like lots of nasty stuff that will come loose from the plastic and poison you if you try to drink from this. So do not drink from this. Okay, well, now that that's out of the way, so we have this very thick felt cover here, very thick material with 4 press studs here, which are in relatively nice condition, and there's actually a stamp in the press studs too. It's NSKI. I'm not sure which order you are supposed to read the letters, but yeah, NSKI. And on the other side, these don't have actual like letters or anything, but look at that, there's actually decoration. Decoration on the metal part. Like, when was the last time you saw a DDR military item that had decoration on it? Well, honestly though, I'm not 100% sure if this is actually a military item, because this is yeah, just bare aluminum, this bottle. And I've seen like these early canteens which have been painted green, and they have actual MDI or NVA stamps here on the top. And yeah, talking about the stamps, on the top of the bottle here we have again, it's even trickier this one because it's shiny metal, but yeah, we have again a DDR1. We can snuggle out the bottle, it's a bit tight fit. Yeah, not much to see on the bottle. There's like this dent at the bottom, which is intended because there's like a metal piece at the bottom of the cover, so it sort of fits into it. But yeah, the bottom is well, round, so it actually doesn't stand on its own, which is a bit annoying. And yeah, we have this metal wire contraption holding the cap on. And there's like this little rubber seal inside the cap, which is actually in relatively good condition considering this bottle is like, I don't know, 60, 70 years old. Just a very basic aluminum bottle. Quite similar actually to the Soviet design, I think, like similar in shape. You can open the leather straps from the bottom. Well, it's much easier now when the bottle is away, but yeah. First comes the front one. You can even slide it out. And then the bottom one. And yeah, these straps are all real leather. And that wasn't going to last for very long. And so, we get to the Fl-andon canteen, and as usual there are a couple of different variants of this. I believe this one here is the last one of the Fl-andon canteens, because it has this metal loop here has been riveted on, but the rivets have been filed off. Yeah, on the early canteen cup you can see that the rivets here are very visible and pronounced, and it was like that on the early variants of the Fl-andon canteen. So you would see like very clear rivets here. The very first Fl-andon canteen pattern had like this square shaped sewings here on the front. I think it was to hold like the layers of fabric together. And it had like a smaller press studs as well. And this hook was like this attachment here, or this loop was like a square shaped. It had like square shaped angles. And it had the gray webbing, the very first model of this canteen. Then there was like the middle variant of the Fl-andon canteen, which had these black colored straps. Like they were a bit different material than this one, I think, but yeah, the strap here was black colored, and on that one this hook was the same model as seen here, and there was no sewing here of that, so it was just basically similar to this but with black webbing, and I think the press buttons on it were the smaller type as well, like smaller and taller. These are like quite flat and quite wide. And the first Fl-andon canteens were produced in 1961, I believe. So maybe this is from like mid 1960s about. I have to say, like, it's nice that the pattern has survived so well. Like many of these Fl-andon items, like the pattern is like very dark or faded or whatever, but this canteen is basically, well, it has taken some rust again from being in the same storage crate as this decontamination kit, and some of the decontamination powder has leaked as like a gas from the gap and rusted some items, including this buckle a bit here. And actually it has even corroded the aluminum cup here, like this is corrosion from that decontamination kit stuff, whatever it is. Some kind of nasty stuff it is. So yeah, let's open this up. You can buy these canteens online like they are, and they are one of the most common Fl-andon items, so it's not so hard to find them. They cost about, if it's a nice condition one, it can cost about 50 euros now, so it's not cheap, I suppose, anymore. But yeah, and yeah, this vinyl or plastic strap here, like falling apart, and like the layers are coming off. So yeah, we can look at the cup first. So we have a couple of details here that then went away with the strict-on model later. So we have these like measurement markings here. It actually doesn't say like how much liquid each step is, but maybe it's like a centiliter each, or no, it can't be, because they are like, yeah, the markings are like equal distance from each other, but the cup is like wider at the top, so it's not equal. But yeah, it's just to, I guess, give you an idea how much liquid you have in your teeny weeny cup. And yeah, as I said, like there are rivets here, but they have been filed off, so it looks smooth. But yeah, you can still see them clearly from the inside, and you can actually feel them. That there are rivets here that have been used to attach this metal loop. And unlike the early canteen or early cup, this one has now the handles, which were absent from this early cup, which actually made the early cup kind of difficult to use. Like if you had some hot liquid, like how are you gonna hold this without burning your hands? Like, are you gonna fiddle with the leather strap and try to hold it and then drink it? But yeah, man, quite challenging. Yeah, now you have your convenient handles here to drink your excellent quality DDR coffee, I presume. And we do have actual marking here at the top of the cup. I'm not sure like which manufacturer that is. U-shaped, and then there's some, no, it's not actually an U, it's more like an M, but yeah, it's really difficult to say like what exactly it's supposed to be, but yeah, it's some kind of factory marking. Then to the canteen itself, so yeah, now we don't have any fancy leather strap system here, we just have this one strap here that is permanently attached to the cover. But yeah, the idea was still the same, like you had this hook for attaching to the bread bag loop, and then this here to attach to the leather loop. However, I'm pretty sure that not many people carried it that way, because yeah, there were no bread bags, and I suppose you could carry it on this belt loop like this or like that, but then the bottle would like swing around like crazy when you just walked or whatever. But you can actually sneak your webbing belts through here. It's a later belt, so it's not like very time period or whatever, but the width is the same as with the early belts. So yeah, you can sneak it here, and I guess you could try to then fiddle this open to get your bottle out. I'm not gonna open this because yeah, the strap is like falls apart easily, and this is super duper tight. But yeah, I'm suspecting like people would carry it like this, and I have some proof for that. I have the book Basic Military Knowledge from 1972, and there is this couple of pages with pictures of the uniforms, and if we zoom into this picture, you can see that that's actually the Fl-andon canteen with the black webbing that he is carrying, and I'm pretty sure that he has this his belt running through this sort of loop here, because the bottle is like very high up on his belt. Like when you compare to the magazine pouch, like the bottle is very high up, and there's like no other real way that he could have it so high up unless he was using that loop to carry it. So yeah, here we have again 4 of these press studs. Later on these would reduce to just 3 on the Strichtan one, as you will soon see. But yeah, we have 4 of these, and is there actually, I don't remember. Yeah, there is still the letters here. Yeah, and I believe the letters are, it's really hard to get my camera to see them. But yeah, it's SOL5, if I'm reading that right. And we still do have the decorative pattern here on the other side, so yeah. DDR, this is a proper NVA item, and it has actual freaking decoration. Like, how often do you see that? But yeah, amusing. Yeah, let's go to the bottle itself. Oh, actually, one more thing about the cover itself. Like, the bottom of the canteen is actually a separate fabric piece of its own that has been sewn on, and it has like this X pattern here sewn on, so it would hold a bit better, and yeah, this would change. But yeah, here we have the bottle itself. Actually, on the very first model of Fl-andon canteens, like this bottle had like plastic attachment here, like plastic thing that would attach it to the main bottle itself, the cap I mean, and the cap was like clear plastic instead of this hard gray plastic. I don't know why they switched it to this like metal wire loop thing, which is like very inconvenient and makes noise and probably gets oxidated or rust, whatever, quite soon. And the bottle itself is like this quite clear see-through plastic and very smooth kinda. And there's like some scribblings here that it's 6 and N44 and 152 like on the sides of the triangle, and 10178. No idea what that means, but yeah, there used to be like a rubber seal in here, I think, but unfortunately I have taken it out. Probably thought it was gross, and back then I didn't think that it would actually be a good idea to preserve it for collecting purposes. And we do have marking here at the bottom of the bottle. It says Preta 2603. So I think 2603 is like, maybe it's like the factory code or whatever, because I think that repeats in many of the bottles, and I guess Preta is the company name. Doesn't really say anything to me. Let me know in the comments if you know where that factory used to be. I presume it's not around anymore. But yeah, these Fl-andon canteens were in use in, well, as you saw from the book, like in early 1970s. Let's then move to the last one. So we have the Strichtan canteen, which is by far the most common, and you can buy these off of eBay for a few euros or whatever. I think the Finnish store Varustellega has this right now, and it's like 15 euros, which is a bit of a rip-off price, but well, at least you can get it from a reliable source. But yeah, this has been in a couple of airsoft events with me, so that's why it's like super duper beat up condition. I mean, the paint wears off really easily, so yeah. But yeah, again, there are a few different models of this, so the earliest model is easy to distinguish because yeah, here we have like this belt loop thing, so it forms like a clear belt loop here. However, on the earlier versions of the Strichtan canteen, they still had the hook thing here for you to somehow figure out how to put it to your belt. And so if you find a Strichtan canteen with the hook, you will know it's an early one, and it's like triple times the value, or even more if it's in nice condition. So yeah, let's open this up. I'm sure glad I'm wearing the gloves now, because there's like rust and all kinds of nasty gunk on this, which I do not want in my bloodstream. Yeah, the workmanship really goes down here. Like the metal loop is like all like not straight at all. It's really roughly attached to the cup itself. No markings on the top or anything. And yeah, here the bottle has been attached to, or the cap has been attached to the bottle with this plastic loop thing. But for some reason they still actually have the attachment point for the metal chain. And that was used on the previous model. They just didn't bother to change the mold at the factory. And yeah, on the pouch or cover we have now 3 press studs, which is actually more reasonable. Like you don't need 4 on the, like in here, like it's a bit excessive, so that just makes sense why they cut it down. And the marking has remained the same as in the Fl-andon canteen, so it's SOL5. And actually there are still decorations here, so that's amusing. Like they cut like costs on pretty much everything, but they forgot to like, or they kept the decorations here for some reason. Like that's a bit pointless, but maybe it was like part of the casting or whatever, I don't know, or the stamping, so they didn't remove it. But yeah, amusing that there's still decorations on some things from DDR this late. And yeah, this has taken some pretty heavy rusting here, so yeah, that's why it's like gross. Yeah, the plastic has changed, so now it's like this more less smooth and not so clear as in this one. So yeah, you can see the difference. Like you can't see much through this bottle. And yeah, there is a marking here at the bottom, so it's like a G here that's like encompassing Kowout, Kowaut. No idea, like, is it like go out, or how you're supposed to, what's supposed to form, but oh well. And then we have our serial number, which is 26037. Yeah, I had to check, like, besides the camera, like what it is exactly. And yeah, there used to be rubber seal here as well, but I threw it out because that was like actually gross. And I did the mistake of actually drinking from this bottle a couple of times. I didn't back then understand that drinking from old plastic bottles is like a very stupid idea. So well, I'm still alive, but yeah, don't repeat my stupid mistakes. Yeah, no markings on the underneath the cap this time, so yeah, I've made an absolute mess of my table, but yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did, and hit the subscribe button so you will get a notification when I will release more content. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.